What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Burke Ventures. I'm Emerson Burke. Today on this episode, I'm going to be taking you with me as I custom tie-dye some t-shirts for Coachella 2022. Now, I do work Coachella and have worked for the past 5 years. I luckily got an opportunity to work the merchandise booth for Coachella specifically. I'm not selling my own merch, but in turn, still such an amazing event to be able to network and meet so many people from all around the world. And in the episode, I'm going to be walking you through the whole process with me as I do these custom dyes. I do want to try a couple different techniques when I am dyeing, so it'll be cool to see the results of that, but let's get into the episode. You need a bucket, dyes, sprayer bottles for your dyes, professional textile detergent, measuring cups, soda ash, Ziploc baggies, rubber bands, last but not least, gloves. So the first step in the process is to actually wash the shirts with the professional textile detergent. This does allow for the dye to stick better when the dye is complete. Sometimes when using dyes from Michaels, I have in the past, and those actually do result in a lighter dye, which isn't my favorite thing. Now we are gonna only do 1/4 cup of the professional textile detergent. While we do let this wash, we will then mix our dyes and get ready for the process there. 1/4. Shut this. Speed wash so that it's just quick. Let this wash, we'll get our dye mixed and our dye station set up. I do suggest mixing your dyes in the sink so that it can clean up easily if you do spill any. My funnel actually broke as I was going to use it. I'm going to go ahead and make a little piece that will act as the additional funnel. So to actually make a funnel, pick a point that you want to be where the funnel would start. You just roll the paper into itself. Then piece of tape. I wouldn't recommend doing this with gloves because it sticks to the gloves heavily, but get a piece of tape. And you'd say, how's it going to come out of that hole? Well, then what we would do is we'll take our piece here, drop it in, see where it goes to. Okay. Depending on what kind of blade you have at home, you can either use a scissors or X-Acto. Just like that, we have another funnel. And if you don't want it to be this high, of course, this high. Make it a little bit shorter. Now I am gonna probably want to make 3 of these because I have 3 different colors and I don't want the colors to mix. Here I'm now going to mix the dyes using my funnels. These bottles do hold 2 cups of water, and the dye proportions is 2 teaspoons per 1 cup. So for these I'm going to go ahead and use 4 teaspoons. Now the red does require more teaspoons per cup, and Dharma actually does indicate on the packaging if that is so. Now that the shirts are done washing, we're going to take them in, band them up, and from there we'll soak them in the soda ash, which is just another chemical that allows the dye to stick as much as possible. I'm excited, let's get it. For these shirts, I'll actually be doing just the basic crumple technique. It is pretty easy. You do just squeeze the shirt into itself. These first couple shirts, I'm gonna go ahead and have them in the round shape. And for the others, I'm actually gonna do a vertical design style where I'll be able to have the colors going from the bottom to the top. Now, the tighter your rubber bands are actually will determine the amount of white that is left in the shirt. If you want less white, you want to go looser. If you want more white, you want to go tighter when you do the crumple. Here now we're actually going to fill up this bucket with water, which we will actually soak our shirts in once we do add the soda ash. For every 1 gallon, it would be 1 cup of soda ash, and you do let the shirts sit for 15 minutes and then pull them out, wring them out into the bucket, and then you'd be able to apply your dye. Now here I just put a bucket on top, added a little water because the shirts had a lot of buoyancy and were floating to the top. This would keep them under the water for the full 15 minutes. Our top, our bottom, I'm gonna do the sunset fade, red, orange, yellow at the top. And before, I actually have accidentally used them in the wrong order. So, okay, and you want to be careful where you're touching it. Red's gonna be the deepest, so we'll start here on this side. When I'm dyeing, I do like to keep all of my colors in the same positions when I am laying the shirts down, because if I put the yellow side where I was just dyeing red, that yellow side would now have little red dots. So that's something to keep in mind that I've made a mistake on before with previous dyes. Just finished dyeing the tees. It's about 90 degrees here in Phoenix, so it's super hot, but was able to get the 8 shirts done. I'm gonna let them sit inside in those Ziploc baggies for 24 hours, and then we'll pick up the video when we're rinsing them out. One more thing before we rinse, make sure to clean all your materials. You don't want that dye to stick in on anything, as well as be an inconvenience when you come to maybe use the materials next time around. One thing that I've noticed, sometimes I can be lazy and not clean, and then the inconvenience just comes when I do want to work on a new project. So keep that in mind. Let's rinse. So it's been 24 hours. I'm now going to rinse the dye out of the t-shirts in my bathroom. I made this little contraption here that is like a bowl and kind of allows you the water to rinse through. I don't have any big industrial sinks or anything like that, which would be nice, but we're gonna go ahead and do a time lapse of me rinsing these. For these, I did make sure that I rinsed the red first at the bottom and then went to the yellow. Once again, yellow, it won't ruin red, but red would of course ruin yellow if they did mix and for some reason the dye did stain. Don't mind that Stridex bottle. I'm actually using that as a weight so that when I do lay the shirt over the side of the bucket, it doesn't fall out or move too much. Just finished up rinsing the shirts. Probably took me about 30 to 40 minutes. So hot. Sorry I had to do the quick time lapse. My bathroom's really small, so I couldn't really get too many great shots. Now I don't really want to look at the shirts too much before I put them in here, just because actually the wild card shirt that I did, where I was gonna do a fade from the bottom to the top, but instead I rolled it in half and then did it partially on the top, middles, and sides. That one did come out the best, in my opinion. That's a little sneak peek. But once we do get these washed, we'll be able to kind of have the final look. We don't want, hopefully, none of the reds sunk into the white areas, but we should be good because when rinsing, you do want to use hot water. It does stop the dye from holding, at least that's what they say. So with this wash, I'm gonna do about 8 shirts. I'm gonna use the textile solution again in the wash, just so that it does keep all of those dye colors solid. Once again, usually when you use the dyes from Michaels, if you aren't using soda ash and you aren't doing the pre-treatment, your colors can come out pretty faded. I do use Dharma Trading Company for my dye. It has the best results from what I've seen. I was actually given and recommended that company from an expert tie dyer, and ever since it's been great. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this wash. Do a little detergent, not too much. Let this wash. Once it's done, we'll throw it in the dryer. But next steps, I'm gonna clean out all my Ziplocs so that when I do want to use them again, I don't have to worry about any old dye getting on the new shirts. Let this go. It's about a 46-minute quick wash. Throw them in the dryer and then be able to take them out and tag them. Onto the t-shirt, so I'll get shots of those in the morning. I do want to get the direct sunlight so you can see the deep colors of the dye. The in-house lighting I don't think will do it justice, but it's about 7:45. I'm going to start editing this video. I'll pick up with you guys in the morning. One love, y'all. Morning, you guys. So looking at these now, they came out beautiful. The technique I used was a crumple. It is a little bit easier. I felt like I was on a somewhat of a time crunch trying to make the video and get all the parts set up, because you do want that to be pretty fluid. So I did take that route with the technique. But these first two are actually the ones that I had in circles. They weren't the long vertical pieces that I did make. And I love how these come out, the colors bright. Now this is one of the ones that was the vertical design where I was trying to do the fade up. I like it, but I just love how the colors mesh on those ones that I had did in the circular pattern. We'll go through these. I'll do a little fast forward here so you can see them all. I'm gonna steam them all before I do put them in the packaging for the trip. But let me know which ones you guys love or like or don't like, or put also any tips you may have about tie-dyeing if you tie-dye yourself, because every time it is trial and error. You never know what you're going to get, and I have found honestly that the times that I do more wild card things, those turn out better honestly rather than being so uniform. Kind of like when I started, I just wanted to do the red, orange, yellow at the top, because I was trying to do a great This one might be my favorite. This one I did do the vertical tie, but instead of just doing red, orange, yellow to the top, I actually rolled the shirt into a circle, and then I did yellow directly in the middle, orange, and then red, and then yellow, orange, red, and then I love how the lines actually look on this one overall. This is probably my favorite of the bunch. This is another one with the vertical design. Once again, not bad, but personally what I was going for, I probably needed to do more of a dip dye method so that the fade is more gradual, as well as there wouldn't be as much white, but that also does require a lot more dye and time, of course. I just wanted to kind of put some cool things together for this video and get these ready so I can focus on other things that we may be needing for Coachella, stickers and so forth. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Comment below which shirt was your favorite. Comment below with any tie-dye tips if you do tie-dye more frequently and see any errors or anything that I could adjust so that my dyes do come out better. But I appreciate everybody watching. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos here in the next couple weeks. Coachella, I'm going to be doing a vlog style video, and then when I get back I have a couple commissions that are going to be some pretty cool content. Honestly, it's large pieces that are bigger than I've done before, but so that'll be some pretty cool footage to get of those processes. But I really thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share, all of it. One love, y'all.